Revelation 2741. From the 16th of May 1943. Missing the course of Earth. Recent course of development. God's help. Countless beings are heading towards ruin. They are heading towards an abyss which will mercilessly devour them unless the human being's will itself urges him to turn back, and the soul is still saved at the last hour. People don't know about their misguided existence on Earth if they don't live and use it appropriately. They don't accept any instructions either because they believe nothing and only regard Earth as an end in itself, not as a means to an end. Thus they cannot be taught through speech, and therefore harsher means have to be used, means which are indeed very painful but can also be successful if the human being is not already too hardened in mind and thereby even more hardened. Means must be used which make people realize that even the earth itself can be shaken to its foundations, and that it offers no guarantee for a carefree existence which fully satisfies the human being. It has to be proven to the human being that his concern for earthly possessions is in vain if God's will is not respected and the earth therefore no longer fulfills its actual purpose. The human being strives for nothing but earthly goods and remains in a despiritualized state. His soul is in greatest adversity because it does not develop upwards but downwards. And as the time of the end has now come, its earthly course has also ended and the time of its higher development is over. Endless times can pass until the soul has to pass its test of earthly life as a human being again, and this endless long time is extremely agonizing for the spiritual, which failed in earthly life and therefore has to cover the course through earthly life again, the development on earth. What this means cannot be assessed by people. And because they do not believe anything, they do not visualize it or seriously think about it. But God makes it known to people. He draws their attention to the fact that they are in greatest danger. He constantly warns and admonishes them through his servants, through earthly events, through suffering and worry, and especially through his word, which he conveys to earth in order to urge people to change their lives and to follow God's guidelines, so that the great spiritual hardship will be remedied, so that the soul will be protected from having to travel this new earthly path, so that it will avert unspeakable suffering from itself. With merciful love the Father in heaven looks at his earthly children who are going the wrong way and cannot find their way back to him. He wants to come to their aid and approaches them unrecognized, yet they pay no attention to his admonitions and warnings. They reject his messengers which his fatherly love sends to them. They don't believe and therefore cannot be taught either, and the great danger they are in cannot be made credible to them. And therefore the earth will be shaken to its foundations. The language of the forces of nature shall achieve what the language of fellow human beings cannot. The human being shall anxiously ask himself what he lives for. He shall learn to recognize the nothingness and transience of earthly things in order to direct his striving towards other things than before. An immense destruction has to take place because this is the only possibility to teach people to think differently. Because everything that is the epitome of earthly life has to be taken away from them, and because the truth of what was previously proclaimed to them by fellow human beings as divine word has to become clear to them. They should learn to believe of their own accord. They should know that their souls are in great hardship if they don't let their will become active and work on the ennoblement of their soul regardless of earthly things. Amen.